Now, the interview you'll see only on ShowBiz tonight. Lance Bass tells all. Bass was a teen heartthrob in the late 90s with NSYNC, but he held a shocking secret from the rest of the group, the fact that he's gay. It was just one of the many struggles for Bass while at the height of fame, and he writes all about it in his new book, Out of Sync. And in a revealing interview, Bass told me how betrayed he felt when Justin Timberlake decided to leave NSYNC and how hard it was for him to hide his sexuality from the rest of the group. You grew up basically being this heartthrob to millions of people around the world. As we all know, Lance, being a heartthrob, or at least part of it, is based in sexuality.
Yeah.
And as we know, you revealed last year to the world that you're gay.
Right.
I have to imagine that has to have been a very difficult thing to have sort of kept inside you and kept a secret, knowing that if it had gotten out while NSYNC was at its height, it could have been devastating for the group. I mean, how hard was that?
I mean, that's all I had in my head, you know, as I was with NSYNC. I knew I had this huge secret that I only, you know, I kept to myself. I told no one. And I knew that eventually it would come out, you know, in my life, but as long as I was with these guys and singing with NSYNC, I knew I could never tell anyone because I had my best friends' careers in my hands, as I thought, and I thought, you know, if I ever were found out, that would be the end of our careers.
And as you said, you anticipated one day that eventually it's going to get out one way or the other. But when it finally did happen, how was it as opposed to your expectation? Was it harder or was it easier?
It went a lot better than I expected. The week where it all just kind of came out, it was very nerve-wracking. It was only just a few hours where I had to decide, okay, am I going to tell my story? Who am I going to tell it with? Because the story was getting around. People were really gossiping a lot. And to me, I didn't think it was a big deal. I didn't think people would care because I was very relaxed. I was in a relationship at the time. My friends knew, so I was out to myself.
But it's funny, I've heard you say that before, where you didn't think it would be a big deal and you didn't think people would care.
Well,
really?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, you know, it's true, and it's ignorance. And, you know, but it was scary because I didn't know who would support it. I didn't know if I was going to get, you know, people making fun of me. My biggest concern was for the gay community. I didn't want another person to come out and people just bash and be like, oh, look at that, look at this queen, and, you know, just really get the stereotypical bashing on me. But it was completely opposite. My friends, my family, the press, everyone was just so nice and positive and really took this story and made it, you know, relatable to a lot of people out there.
As successful as NSYNC was, we all know you guys broke up back in 2002. You talk quite candidly in the book about the betrayal that you felt by Justin Timberlake breaking out on his own, and more in terms of the fact that it came as a shock to you guys that he was actually launching the solo career. I want to read something that I found particularly interesting in the book about how shocked you guys were when he went solo. You write, quote, "I felt completely betrayed. All of us had been strung along to believe that just beyond the horizon, we were going to go back into the studio to make a new album until someone finally had the guts to tell us it wasn't going to happen. It pissed me off that Justin's life got all set up perfectly before he came back to the rest of us." Tell me a little bit more about the betrayal you felt, because it has to be pretty intense.
Oh, of course. You know, and when I wrote this book, every feeling that I went through is what I wrote about. You know, at the time where I'm going through these emotions and these experiences, that's how I felt. You know, now, 2007, I'm definitely, you know, a lot happier with the decision, don't regret things, but it was mainly the betrayal of, you know, management and people that were around us kind of controlling our careers and guiding our careers, and I felt like we were guided, we were misguided, you know. We were always told, oh, you know, in 3 months we're doing this, oh, we're getting back in the studio in 4 months.
Did any of that, though, affect your relationship with Justin at the time? I mean, are you... No,
I mean, we're all friends, all the guys, you know, we're like brothers. We're always going to be like family.
So you're at peace with him?
Oh, of course. You know, we talk. It definitely has affected our relationship in the last few years. I think, I don't know if it's an embarrassment from his part, you know, or his camp, because, you know, it's the same management, all that, so... Right. I don't know how he truly feels about the whole, how it all went down. I personally think he didn't know what was going on. I think he was kept so busy that other people really control what's going on.
Well, one of NSYNC's early opening acts, a young lady by the name of Britney Spears, of course. So you knew Britney Spears long before her train fell off the tracks, essentially. I can't think of a nicer way to put it, but things have gone terribly wrong for her. What do you think happened?
You know, it's That's what happens to some people when you have, you know, you grow up in this business at such a young age. We were lucky enough to have, you know, I had my 4 best friends around me at all times to knock me down back to earth if, you know, I ever, you know, started to get my heads into the clouds. When you're a solo artist, and especially a female solo artist, it's really difficult when you have no one around you telling you no, telling you the truth, and every day you pick up a magazine and people are nitpicking your body weight, what your hair looks like today. You know, it's crazy, and we never got that. No one cares, you know, if I gained 10 pounds this week.
Everybody says it comes down to the support system around you. Definitely. And the fact that even if she does have people giving her advice now, she's clearly not listening. And you got to listen. You
do, but things will change. You know, she'll get it back, and she'll be fine.
Well, we certainly hope you're right about that, Lance. Aside from his book, Lance also has a successful career on Broadway playing Corny Collins in Hairspray.